And he's a Jets
I
fan,
don't.
right?
No. I know. Trust me.
Hey, we're
I
gonna
know.
restrain Jeff and Snooty tonight.
This is what happened. This is exactly what's going down. Every fucking Penguins fan has Tom Wilson on their brain more than any other athlete in the goddamn planet. I have never heard a fan base wanting the downfall of one fucking human being in my entire life. And I will say it 12 more times. Tom Wilson lives rent-free in all your fucking heads. Go ahead.
That said, we do
What
not.
about the GOAT? What about Tom Brady, though? You think he's more hated?
No. Tom Brady is hated because he wins, not because of like Tom Wilson is just playing cocky. Like Tom Wilson, okay, I understand. Like what happened yesterday. We're recording on. Let's give somebody some premise. We're recording on Wednesday. This is coming out Thursday. This is Thursday now, so Tuesday, not yesterday.
just it's between Tuesday and Thursday right now. Don't worry about it.
Tom Wilson may have punched somebody in the back of the head. He might have gone in a brawl, pulled somebody by their hair, put them through the fucking ice. Okay, now people don't understand that I was like, okay, I understand you guys are upset because he did do a cheap shot. I will agree the punch on the head was a cheap shot. But people are coming at his neck every single time he does something. Like, it's not like when he trips somebody. That's he's a fucking awful player. He fucking actually does a good check. You can't do that. Like all this shit. Like, of course, this is the the straw that broke the camel's back. No pun intended, because I'm fucking Egyptian. It's just ridiculous how Penguins fans were the most irate over all of them. Jeff, glad to be here. Thank you for coming in. You're a Jets fan, but this is against Penguins fans right now.
We're all blue shirt fans tonight.
Speak for yourself.
Ranger fans were not as pissed off as Penguins fans. Penguins fans were more pissed off.
Hockey fans were pissed off.
Everybody's pissed off. Everyone. Erroneous. On all accounts, erroneous.
I don't think everyone's pissed off. Alan May seems pretty happy about this whole thing going down. He is loving the line brawls. Jeff, you're just so angry. Are you still not drinking, Jeff?
No.
Yeah, maybe it's time to jump on that wagon again.
No, not a chance. Saving so much money drinking.
It's like always. It's like
costs way too much.
It's like always sunny. He starts getting sick. Wait, did we just get better from drinking? Are we alcoholics?
I'm not an alcoholic.
No.
Alcohol was so much easier than quitting cigarettes.
Oh my god!
I found my addiction problem is cigarettes, not trying any other drug.
No other.
Hey, at least you got
no problem. Weed, no problem. Alcohol, no problem. Cigarettes.
The thing you've been able to buy legally since you've been 18. It's the hardest thing to quit.
Yeah, and that shows you how old I am. Since I was 18, I could buy it. Man, it's like we were looking at our parents being like, oh, you guys could buy cigarettes at 16 or whatever, or they could go and their parents could give them money to go to the store to pick up cigarettes for their parents, and when they were, little kids, and they could get away with that shit.
You just need a note. That's it.
Right, yeah. They're for my dad. Yeah, we know. Yeah. He's here all the time.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think
Johnny's kid.
I think you just walked in and said you wanted cigarettes for your dad. I would be going to a lot of places. They would say, all right, and hand you the cigarettes, and then just charge your dad the next time he came in.
Oh, man, I was watching this Canadian show, and they had a little kid who would come in and buy cigarettes, and this show ended this year. So, I'm sure that shit's still going on north of the border. Came in with the note, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Oh, it's for his dad. It's okay. It was his dad or his mom was injured. And so they're like, oh, it's fine.
All you really need is a Randall. And I think about Clerks. If you just have a person who just doesn't give a shit, doesn't care. I mean,
exactly.
And then if you go to Europe, it's all games are off. I mean, there's no rules in Europe.
In my experience,
Europe just have not
tobacco are in the States.
What is that, Zach? They're more strict about it?
Yeah, at least in my experience, they were stricter about tobacco in Europe, given everyone was smoking everywhere. But when it came to the regulations and them not letting kids smoke, it seemed like it was really heavily enforced there.
You just gotta find the street vendors.
Well,
I
of
don't know if
course.
that,
I mean,
that was around in Europe, but I just remember
find
it
the
through.
you get the
guys
street
walking around.
vendors, or you get the
Yeah.
street urchins to get you the cigarettes for you.
The guys who are just in there, marijuana, cocaine, cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Ayahuasca cigarettes.
There's lobbyists as well.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Goddamn cigarettes. We went from brawls to cigarettes. This is the show that you should watch and you should listen to. We are the Five Holers. I am your host. The captain's back in his chair. Michael, the garbage disposal Shanuti, back again. He's eating meat. He's eating chicken. He's eating pork. He's
He
eating
has
a
risen.
fucking donkey. Shout out to Rob Zombie. Woo!
Is that what you learned through your whole experience of fasting? Is just shout out to Rob Zombie?
He's a
Zombie
vegan?
Jesus. I don't know. Is he vegan?
Yeah, him and his wife are vegans.
That's funny because I never thought Rob Zombie would be vegan.
I think it's because of his wife. They're anti the animal torture.
See, boyfriend chameleon. Boyfriend
I
chameleon.
mean, his wife is a dime, so I guess
Yeah.
that's.
I was about to add. That was my next question. Is she hot? Because that's a
Mhm.
boyfriend chameleon. When you have a hot wife or girlfriend, you just
Have you
morph
seen-
into whatever.
Any of his movies. She's in every one of his movies and several of his music videos.
I like how
Yeah.
Shanuti's response to animal torture was, like almost he was like, oh, that sounds good.
Hey man, veal is the shit, and that is like one of the more tortured animals when to make that meat nice.
Don't they have to stress out the calf before they make it into veal? Something like that. It makes
It's
it
like
more,
in a little like box or whatever, so it's not moving around a bunch.
It's supposed. I mean,
Yeah.
they're literally calves that don't move that much. Like literally, I think they lose all motor skills.
And then you know what they do? They butcher them. They cut their fillets into real thin slices of meat. They pound that down a little bit, even more than it already is, just because. Okay, fine. All right.
It's
So
making me hungry.
they deep fry it. They put it on a bun with tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, maybe some banana peppers if you're feeling saucy that day, and you got a veal parmesan. It's delicious.
Listen, I don't know what Zach just said, but everything he just said, I'm hard from. So guess what, Zach? I'm ordering that shit right now from Maggiano's. I bet you Maggiano's has it.
Oh shit! We know the owner of Maggiano's. Me and Jeff do actually.
Really?
Sure.
Yeah, he was one of the, he was the heavy set
That narrows it down.
mechanic guy who used to come into the ice rink and would fuck with the Zamboni drivers all the time. His name was Chris. Oh,
Still doesn't narrow it down for me.
See, but
There's a lot of fat guys at the hockey rink.
I saw the
And a lot
fact
of
that
people wanted to be around the Zamboni drivers.
the fact that Jeff was just like that narrows it down. I knew right away there's too many fat guys for you to pinpoint somebody, Jeff.
Yeah, and I mean everyone wanted to be around there, see the machines or show their kids the machines and stuff. I mean, I remember some stupid kid like walking across the little area there where there's no rubber on his skates. It's like
that's awesome,
dude. Your parents are gonna be so pissed when they have to get those sharpened. And you know, Nick and Olia and them or whatever her name was, were not happy to sharpen those skates.
Hey, it's money though.
Yeah, but it's the same amount if you fuck them up or if
that's true. Yeah, no matter.
Yeah, there's no increase in price, no matter how much you destroy those skates.
What you're really wasting is my goddamn time with these skates.
that would have taken like 15 minutes of work to put a mat down there, but we just never did.
Well, I mean, there was no reason for them to be walking past there.
But
that
I'm
was
gonna ask a question right now, and it's a good question. How old were both of you when you were in the ice rink when you first started?
25-ish.
Yeah, and when you say first started, my first job ever was at the ice house. So 15 and a half.
Oh, wow.
But then when I started at SkateQuest, yeah, 20-something, 25, yeah.
Jesus.
Sounds
The
about right.
ice house, man. The ice house.
First job at the ice house, he was actually the guy who used to come into the locker room after the game and wipe down the loads.
Man,
Dude,
this is how old or how long ago I was working at the Ice House. I remember watching Palomalu get drafted while I was at the Ice House.
Holy fuck!
Our
That's
job
how
was
old
just
you were.
sitting there watching the TVs when people were not getting skates or when you weren't on the ice, skate monitoring.
Yeah.
there were
Wait,
so
what-
many damn TVs in that place too.
And they had one right in front of where the skate rental thing is, which was
Yeah.
awesome.
Nothing.
Like they understood.
Nothing hit the spot, but it was the worst thing in the world than that fucking ice rink pizza, where it was just so bad. Like it was just like it was like 80% sauce, 20% cheese, and then maybe 2 pepperonis. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
They had paisanos at the ice, or pomodoro at the Ice House. It was
Pomodoro, yeah.
That was good
That
food.
was that
I
was
remember
that was,
people
that
going
was once
in
they got
just
big.
to get pizza.
My mom used to do that all the time.
I mean, once the pizza became fucking edible, yeah.
Well, and I mean, like for your mom or for any of the other ones who were parents who had kids who were skating, it was easy enough to just go pick up a pie when you dropped your kids off.
Right. I mean,
They're
that's,
huge now,
that's
Paisanos too. I mean, they have one down here in Richmond now on basically on VCU campus. It's like right next door to it.
Damn.
Right.
Never get it though. No reason.
No.
Paisanos is now like Eastern Motors. It's like fucking. It's
Your job's your
over-
credit.
Your job's your credit. Their biggest thing is they use all the fucking athletes in the DMV area, and they're just like, we are the official pizza and whatever of Washington Wizards football team, Caps, and it's just like.
It's like one of those like purposefully bad commercials too. You feel like it's like gotta be like made to be sort of bad, where it's like you guys are trying to capitalize on that, but then it just doesn't work because it's not like celebrities. It's just like athletes. You're like, oh, whatever.
Remember when they had the football guys and then they brought Ovechkin into it, where they're like throwing around the football and they toss it to him and he's got his stick and stuff, and it's just man. This is just like you got the chance to work with these people. You're like, fuck it, just do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, definitely. We'll throw this opportunity away.
That is called the Michael Shanuti School of Marketing. So bad it's good.
Thank you. I was about to say that, Zach. Oh my god. You guys don't remember
balls.
you guys remember more of the bad commercials than you do the good commercials, because you're like, wow, that's so shitty. That's in my brain. Like, remember when the Super Bowl commercials, they literally found out getting banned from being so bad or like so like controversial, they would put it on YouTube and be like, we got banned from the Super Bowl. And those commercials hit more than the commercials you'd see on TV, aka the Skittles one, where the dude is just fucking his wife after like they got married. And he's like, oh, I'm going to give you my sweetness and all this shit. And then, what's it called? And then,
are you sure this is a commercial?
Yeah, I swear to God, Google it.
Skittles isn't advertising in your porn.
He's like, I'm about to blow, and it's Skittles that come down raining on his wife.
I don't remember this one at all.
I remember that.
You got to Google it. Google it. I'm Googling it right now, actually. I'm going to send you a link.
I remember, I have no clue what the commercial was for, but it was like the guy was doing the painting in the end zone, and it was for the Chiefs. And he goes and spells it chefs when he's done. Like, it just shows him, like, meticulously taking care of the end zone, and then he fucks it up at the end, and he's like, great googly mooglies or something. And I don't know what the fuck it was for, but that one sticks in my mind.
See, there you go. And then the one that sticks into my mind the most was the when the
wait. What do you mean? See, there you go. Jeff doesn't remember the company. He just remembers the commercial.
Yeah, well, that's
so it didn't work.
Well, if he finds out the company, he's probably gonna buy whatever the fuck they're selling.
Nope, not a chance. I don't buy any commercials. People need to understand this. If anything, I see a commercial that I hate, and I'm like, I'm gonna avoid that company. I don't see a commercial and go like, oh, I'm gonna get that.
You said you liked it.
I like the commercial. It's like
it's more
Bud Light commercials back in the day, but I wouldn't run out and get Bud Light. I mean, it's shitty beer. It's water. I love their Super Bowl one when the battle bots was the big thing. Like they had the 2 battle bots, and the one they put in was the mini fridge, and it just opens up and there's the Bud Light in there that goes for it and just has a big hammer crush the other guy's thing.
It's great. Bao-Bats forever.
Oh yeah.
One of the worst commercials of all time has to be the Pepsi commercial when they completely missed the mark with like racial injustice, and they put like Kendall Jenner in the middle of it, and she like cans over a Pepsi to to the cop, and that's supposed to end racial injustice. And Pepsi got so much heat. Now that's why I drink Coca-Cola, aka our sponsor. Thanks, Coke.
Coke is also a lot better than Pepsi.
Yep.
Coke is way better.
Way better.
Pepsi.
Yeah.
100%.
And Sprite is a Coca-Cola product. So shout out Sprite. Even though they've been lowballing us on the sponsorships, shout out to them.
Mountain Dew is great, and it's Pepsi, but I mean, you're going to hit some good ones when you have that many products.
Well, we're Mellow Yellow now.
I still like Dew better.
Is that Mellow Yellow? Is Mellow Yellow the competitor of Mountain Dew, or is that the Sprite?
No, Mellow Yellow, Coke's version of Mountain Dew.
Okay. What about who has Mr. Pibbs or Mr. Pebbs?
Mr. Pibb is his own entity. No one holds.
No, yeah.
Oh, Mr.
All these things are owned
Pibb.
by, like, Dasani's owned by one of them. It's like even water comes from fucking soda companies.
Dasani or Aquafina, one of the two is on the other side.
We're coming up on top with the Pibb Extra, Mr. Pibb. It's owned by the Coca-Cola Company.
There you go. We're fans.
Oh, Dr. Pepper.
Is that Dr. Pepper must be Pepsi then? Is that what it is? I guess.
Be Pepsi.
Must be, yeah. You don't need to get your doctorate. None of us.
No.
It's like,
we're for the regular man.
It's like Marvel in DC. We got to figure out which one came up was first, and then the other one's the off-brand one that everybody hates.
I mean, come on, it's all about Shasta, really. With all of the knockoff stuff they had. I don't think that extended past the Midwest, but Shasta was a shit in college.
It did not get. They still sell that, by the way.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember fucking getting so much Shasta in college. That stuff was dirt cheap.
That shit was disgusting.
And there was a reason it was dirt cheap.
It was disgustingly cheap and disgusting. But that's that. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Better than Faygo?
It was better than that. Oh my god. Oh shit. Let me tell you. Literally, those were the two drinks in people's fridges sometimes when you knew they were broke. You would ask them, like, are you okay? Like you'd ask them like, do you need money? Like
if they got a Faygo.
Hey man, I just assume they're ICP fans if they have Faygo.
Yeah, dude, honestly.
Until I moved here, I had never seen Faygo in real life, and I just assumed that ICP owned it and was bringing it to all their shows.
No.
I have a convenience store that's like maybe a mile and a half from my house. It's the jankiest little bodega on the planet. The only soda products they have, and they have 3 whole refrigerator cases full of them, is Faygo.
Oh man, ICP must visit there when they come into town.
Yeah, that's going to be their stop.
There has to be a shortage on some, like, somebody was like, let's put this soda in there. And it's fucking Faygo. And it's just like, what the fuck? And I just said the name wrong. But whatever. Fuck them.
It's definitely, I know what you're saying, though. It's like some company had, like, let's say, like Hawaiian Punch. And they're like, we have too much. This has been sitting in the tanks too long. What are we going to do with it? ICP will buy it. That's for sure. It's like a well-known thing in the soda industry, I feel like. ICP will buy your old stale soda. Well known.
Marketing.
Reach out to Shaggy. What's his name? Shaggy
2Dope.
Yeah, there you go. Then reach out to him.
Hey man, they had the cure for COVID. They put some dirt in the snow, and then you just eat that, and you're good to go.
Eric, did you watch the video of Shaggy 2Dope trying to kick drop Fred Durst yet?
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah, that's a classic. Talk about classic. That should be a classic advertisement for their soda.
For Faygo.
Like, why is that? Why do we not see that during the Super Bowl? Like,
also,
do you want to?
Relatively recent. Neither of those bands do you think of when you think of recent music? Limp Bizkit and ICP.
It was sort of. I guess it was like. I wonder when that was. I guess it might be almost like 15 years ago now.
It's been a while.
The Dropkick was like 3 years ago.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, I don't think so.
It was no longer than 5. But it was relatively recent that happened. Because Limp Bizkit tried to make a big comeback where they had their $3 concert because of $3 bill, y'all.
Yeah, I guess it was 2018. So I thought it was like 2012. But yeah.
Man, that's
just a great
video. We think it's from farther away than it was.
Well, and the quality's not great on it, so you thought it was shot with like the flip phones.
It almost looks like a whole, just like it looks like it's so fake. It looks like both of them need. They need publicity, and they're like he was like, all right, you're gonna try to drop kick me on stage, but just don't actually kick me because he doesn't even make contact with them.
No.
So,
I mean, do either of those bands need any more publicity now? If you're a Juggalo, you're a Juggalo, and nothing's gonna change that. Even with the government saying that they're a terrorist organization, you're still a Juggalo.
I'm gonna take this kid down in the basement, wash this makeup off his face, give him some new clothes.
Hey man. They also,
Professor right there.
That's why they were in the news too with all that facial recognition shit. The ICP face paint screwed it up. People couldn't get figured out by it.
They're so ahead of their time.
Yeah, man. It was all part of their plan.
What was that, Zach?
I said, are you saying the Juggalos are smarter than we think they are?
They've always been smarter than what we think they are.
Explain.
All right, think about it. Number one, I'm back in action. Number one, this is how my brain works. Two dudes who just painted themselves as fucking clowns, fucking basically got into the youth of America saying, oh, let's just start this quote unquote band or rap group. And then all these other dudes fucking painted themselves the same way. What do we call that? A fucking cult. A fucking movement, a fucking way of living. Now, do they preach violence? I don't know. Do they preach anything? But if Always Sunny teaches us something, they do teach us that fat kids in school will paint their faces like clowns, and he's like, I'm a juggalo, bro. And then they tell people they're juggalos. So honestly, they could take what they planted in kids already and use it further on in their lives. I think they are planning something. They're planning something for sure. The Juggalos are not done yet. We're going to watch the Gigolos and the Juggalos come at us.
Hey, man, Gathering's going to be back either this year or next year, so I'm sure we'll be representing there.
I'm going as a man on the street.
Oh, shit, that'd be awesome. Hell yeah.
As a man on the street?
Hell yeah, you should go on a man on the street.
Four Corners going to get us tickets to the Gathering whenever it comes back.
Wait, where is it and when is it?
It's got to be Detroit or somewhere in the
Detroit somewhere.
Because they're from Detroit. But I feel like, it's in a field somewhere, so.
Wait, do I have to paint as a Juggalo?
No. People go there that don't have the face paint on.
No,
right, cool.
Show up in full Trekkie gear and say you're at the wrong conference hall.
What if I come in as what if I come in as a Joker mask, like in a Joker mask? It's like I'm here with the clown posse. I'm a clown, and I just start interviewing people.
That's it. We should all go in different clown makeup. So someone goes like the mime makeup.
Somebody go as a mime. Somebody goes as Joker. Somebody go as
we do like it,
like a regular clown for like kids parties with like the rainbow hair and the red
John
nose.
Wayne Gacy. There you go. We got them all.
There we go.
Hey, John Wayne Gacy he's got a documentary now on Hulu. I think it's on Hulu.
Why the fuck not? We keep having documentaries about these well-known serial killers.
Yeah, I want to see some shit about some
Night Stalker guy. Whoa, this is kind of crazy. I didn't know anything about him.
Come on. That one was fucked. That one was just super fucked. That dude was fucking insane. I don't know.
I just want to see something about serial killers I don't know a shit ton about, like you're saying, Jeff. It's just the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't need another Ed Gein video.
Do we need a bunch of Dahmer ones? Like, we all know these guys.
Dahmer.
Give us some. Give us a Panzerich.
You know why Dahmer? You know why Dahmer?
Cool dude.
You know why?
Practicing
Dahmer.
surgery.
Everybody thinks he's hot and blah blah blah. Zac Efron, this, that, and the third.
That was Bundy.
Shit. See, I can't keep him straight.
It's okay. We're
2020.
We're not a true crime podcast,
right? So yeah, we had the Bundy one. Now we have to have the gay one with Dahmer and.
Is he gay?
Yep.
Yeah, he was the one where they delivered one of his victims back to him. The cops did because he said it was his gay lover, and they're like, "Don't want to deal with that. You guys just go back together." And
he was like, that he was alive, and then they gave him back, and then he died.
This is something Sam never told me, and now she cannot watch these serial killers anymore. I'm done.
God created him.
Oof.
No, Rob Zombie did. Stop. We're not.
And I mean, based off
And
of
God created
the
Rod
religion,
Zombie.
Dahmer became a Catholic in prison and went and confessed his sins away, so he should be sitting there in heaven.
Swear to God, if I get to heaven and then there's Dahmer, I'll be like, bro, just send me back. Like,
You wouldn't recognize him. You'd be like, Zac Efron.
No, you're Zac Efron. You didn't die. Nah, Zac Efron went below. Damn, why? Did you watch that Baywatch movie? Yeah, that's the reason.
No one did.
The people who did, that's the reason.
That movie was terrible. That movie was absolutely awful. Like, if I had to pick a movie that I really could not stand, that is the movie. Like, I love The Rock. Zac Efron is whatever. Big titties, always a sell for me. And it was the big titties were only showed maybe twice the entire movie. So what's the point? I gotta watch The Rock Hulk out, and this man Zac Efron shoving it in my face that he has 12-pack abs. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, no one wants to see that.
I still gotta go with Jupiter Ascending or Rising, wherever the fuck that one was. That has to be the worst movie ever. The movie
Whichever
that
way it's
retroactively taking away Eddie Redmayne's Oscar. It was so bad.
So awful. Did you guys see this?
Really bad.
Which one?
What is?
Cloud Atlas.
I
never saw it. I wanted to. It looked okay, and I mean Halle Berry, but yeah, I never got around to it. It's like 2.5 hours or something.
When you say Halle Berry to me, I'm ready to watch it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Monsters Ball, man. She was the shit back in the day.
She was second person, or the second. I guess we could just do this movie thing real quick because I thought it was pretty funny. Do you guys see the Citizen Kane thing?
No. The movie?
Yeah, I've seen the.
Yeah.
No. But
Rosebud.
Did you see?
Mank.
Huh?
It's called Mank. What's his face directed it? The Aronofsky directed it, right?
Yeah. No. But Citizen Kane was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes until like 2 weeks ago. Some 8-year-old reviewer put it at a 99, pushing it down to a 99%. And guess what's the number one movie on Rotten Tomatoes at 100%?
Some
Shrek
movie or a Marvel movie.
Paddington 2?
Paddington 2?
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a foreign movie with how much you struggled to say Paddington.
Dude, I can barely speak English. Are you serious? Of course I'm not going to know how to say Paddington 2. But it was so funny because this movie, Citizen Kane, has had 100% for so fucking long. One dude said, fuck it, let me put this fucking bear above it real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's like number one on so many lists of movies.
Oh my God, so funny. Everybody talks about how that's the movie you show in film school. If you want to show a director, if you want to show a producer, anything, that is the movie. And then the fucking bear is number one over it right now. And it's because some dude was so pissed for no reason.
It was a guy who's been doing reviews for 8 years, or is it an 8-year-old child who reviewed it?
It was an 80-year-old man. Like, I don't know how long he's...
Oh, yeah, I heard 8 too.
I heard 8. I was like, an 8-year-old?
No,
I was like, it's fucking internet trollers.
Because I read it. I was like, first of all, Citizen Kane did not win the best film of its Oscar, by the way, which was wild. Because everybody talks about it, how it's the greatest movie of all time, but you didn't win best film that year. So suck my dick.
Yeah. I mean, Jethro Tull won the first ever Best Metal award. And I mean, a flute is not metal.
Yeah. So it's
beating Metallica,
like,
who isn't metal.
It's just kind of funny because I was just like, this just shows how America is fucked, where some dude just can go in on Rotten Tomato and just say, fuck it, Citizen Kane, go back down, you dickhead. Here's the fucking bear with a fucking raincoat and hat and Hugh Grant in fucking all his glory.
I think, honestly, though, I'd probably rather watch Paddington. I haven't seen Paddington 2 or Paddington 1.
You might be lost if you try watching 2 without 1.
Yeah, right?
Why not Paddington 1 as the best? Why is Paddington 2 the best?
But I've seen Citizen Kane, and it was okay. I mean, I don't really get it. But I feel like if I watch Paddington 2, I'd probably enjoy that more. So maybe it's just updating.
It's the same people who it's nostalgia, I think, in people. Like people are like Citizen Kane's the best. And that's the same people who can't get out of their own way when they talk about like sports heroes. They always go back to some dude in the 40s that we've never fucking heard about.
Like Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, first of all, is the greatest of all time. You suck your dick on that one, sir. Second. But like, no, it's true. Like when we get older, we're gonna be talking about Crosby and Ovechkin being the greatest of all time. When there's some fucking hotshot playing, and our kids are like, no, this dude actually is redefining the game. Like,
Connor Bedard.
That's when they're all playing on laser skates on the moon.
Yeah, when we're playing on Mars.
Yeah.
Oh, another pandemic put all our athletes on the moon.
Hey,
bubble.
Hey, hold on. You need to edit that out. We don't want that idea getting out. That could be the 5 Holers meal ticket right there.
I mean,
verbal copyright.
Dana White has been working on this for a while. When you couldn't figure out UFC, but you did Fight Island, he's gonna have Fight Moon.
You should pitch that to Elon Musk.
Copyright.
There you go. We're good now. We're good. That's binding.
Release this copyrighted at the bottom in the description.
I'm just gonna yell. I'm just gonna tweet at somebody. Just be like, hey, can I do this? And they'll be like, yeah, sure.
Put all athletes on the moon.
Are you literally on Musk right now?
What?
You are, aren't you?
You guys want me? Do you guys want me to? I was going to.
You're on Pornhub right now? Our favorite sponsor?
Pornhub.
Pornhub Live.
He streams 24/7, actually.
It's like an unfortunate Twitch channel.
He's made $3.75 since he started because someone mistakenly donated $10 and the rest was taken out in fees.
Speaking of getting paid, how's Patreon doing, Zach?
I don't know. Let's take a look here. Well,
and has Patreon charged you for hosting it on their website yet, or?
I don't think, we'll find out.
What about our OnlyFans? How's that one doing, Mike?
Not so well. The feet game is a market very saturated.
Well, guys, I got some good news. We haven't lost any money on Patreon.
Woohoo!
And
we haven't lost any money on Patreon.
I guess that's what. We're still breaking even. I like it.
So what do we have to put like Jeff in a fucking I know I said I was gonna fight Mike Tyson, but we need to do something with like I feel like one of you three's got to do something like crazy too. Like
you know what?
I like this.
I have a great idea. So if the person's local, you know they have those like dollar bill machines where you get in it and you grab as many dollar bills as you can. Like, it's like all flying around, like
we're
the
doing
wind.
it with $5
Yeah.
Yes, $5 inside that. Grab as many as you can. You can redeem them for a Patreon subscription.
Fucking pucks.
That's
so
a
these people are gonna get knocked out.
A bunch of pucks flying around. Yeah, exactly. We'll do that instead.
Damn it. We gotta throw sticks in there, mini sticks. But the thing is, can't do that anymore because fucking Usher fucked everything up. Usher fucking made Usher bucks and gave it to strippers, and strippers went with hundreds and thousands of dollars of Usher bucks. Literally bucks that felt like real dollar bills with a picture of Usher on it. It was ridiculous.
So why can't we do it?
Maybe 5 people on the planet actually know about that, and Shanuti is somehow 2 of them.
That's amazing. So he watched an episode of Always Sunny, and he was like, I'm taking this to the strip club because I'm going to just not really pay strippers. I guess, so it was Usher? I guess he might be strapped for cash right now. Who knows? Pandemic's been hard on people.
He's strapped for strips. That's what it is.
I mean, it's a smart idea. It's kind of like those people who think if they put their quarter on a string and they put it in a vending machine, they can pull it back out. It was like he kind of pulled it. He kind of did it and it worked. Like he got strippers to dance on him, and he gave them hundreds and thousands of dollars. Nobody said anything until when they went home. Then they tweeted about it, and Usher was probably like, "Gotcha, bitch!" Like, what? You're gonna take the lap dance back? Like, no, you can't take that back. So
that is kind of fucked up, though. I mean, those people, women
need
their money. Like,
it's fucked up.
Do it to someone who doesn't need it, like to Comcast.
Can I be
Yeah,
honest?
yeah.
Can I be honest? I'm kind of laughing.
I think it's
You
Like,
pay your power bill with that money.
Yeah, exactly.
that's not my fault that they picked this fucking ridiculousness of a. They pick Usher, dude. Like, pick a better fucking singer. Like, I don't know, Rob Zombie.
Zombie bucks.
He'll get him on
Oh,
stage
man.
though, so it'll work out.
Rob Zombie would steal the show. He would be like, nah. Ooh.
maybe nice Steve Winwood.
Can I offer you a nice Steve Woodward?
Exactly.
Nobody says no to a nice Steve Woodward. Not even Steve Woodward.
I don't
I
know.
don't think you know what his name is.
I thought it was Woodwin at first.
I don't know what it is. Winwood, is it Woodwind or Winwood?
Winwood.
And what does he do?
He's a singer.
Oh, not in my world.
Not my singer.
Not in my America. Get the fuck out. Oh, man. So should we talk about hockey or should we just keep going?
I don't know. I totally cut in during the introductions there. I feel like when you were saying that you're back. So if you want
I'll
to do
do
the
it,
intros,
I'll
we can
do
do
it.
outros.
We'll do outros. We're already 30 minutes into this thing.
Are
Are we
very
talking
true.
about hockey now or we just keep going until the wheels fall off?
I think the wheels have been off for a while.
Yeah, we still had wheels.
Is there a game? Should we just play a game?
Well, we'll talk about news first. Zach, what we got for news here?
News.
Yeah,
our
news.
So if you're a hockey fan and you've been living under a rock for the past 3 days now,
You have shelter.
news to you. And you know what? I'm going to let Jeff tell us what happened.
No, pass.
Pass. Wow.
I'm not the newsman.
Fair enough. All right, so there was a tussle in Monday night's Washington Capitals and New York Rangers game. It ended with Tom Wilson body slamming and then punching Artemi Panarin in the head while he was laying on the ice.
He also got Buchnevich in the head while he was on the ice too.
Buchnevich in the head, and Buchnevich actually just cross-checked Mantha in the face. It was pretty gnarly. But either way, so all things aside, Tom Wilson ends up being assessed 16 minutes in penalties for the game, skates over to the penalty box without his fucking jersey on, proceeds to flex at the New York Rangers and make funny faces. And the rest of the game wasn't actually as heated as I thought it was going to be. And then the next day, the NHL Department of Player Safety announced that he was going to have a hearing. And this is where things started getting funky and people started getting pissed off. So Tom Wilson was only fined $5,000 for the incident, which is the max allowed under the CBA. And people were losing their shit all over the fucking all over North America, probably in Europe, maybe even Australia too. We really can't be sure. We don't know what goes on down there. But either way, huge outrage going on about it. Saying that Wilson should be kicked out of the league. That the fine wasn't enough of a punishment. Yada yada yada. So everyone's all pissed off, but it gets stranger. The next day, and I'm gonna keep saying it gets stranger because it keeps getting fucking stranger. The next day, the Washington Capitals, the New York Rangers released a statement publicly saying the New York Rangers are extremely disappointed that Capitals forward Tom Wilson was not suspended for his horrifying act of violence last night at Madison Square Garden. Name check and MSG. Wilson is a repeat offender with a long history of these types of acts, and we find it shocking that the NHL and their Department of Player Safety failed to make the appropriate action and suspend him indefinitely. Wilson's dangerous and reckless actions caused an injury to Artemi Panarin that will prevent him from playing again this season. We view this as a dereliction of duty by NHL head of player safety, George Parros, and believe he is unfit to continue in his current role. So that was the statement released by the New York Rangers. And it went over in dramatic fashion, to say the least. But they name check Parros, they name check Department of Player Safety, name check Tom Wilson, name check MSG. Either way, so this statement comes out, and the NHL has yet to respond publicly to it. The Washington Capitals haven't said anything. I don't think Tom Wilson said anything. Lots of people have weighed in on it. Sean Avery made a video about the whole thing that I haven't watched yet, but definitely interested to see Sean Avery's take on this whole thing. Here is where. So it came out around, I would say noon today, that the New York Rangers have fired their GM Jeff Gorton and president John Davis. They both scrambled to distance themselves from this statement when it came out, and the Rangers claimed that it was purely coincidental that they were fired after the statement came out, and they scrambled to distance themselves from it. It turns out that the owner of the team, who also owns MSG Network, which broadcasts 4 NHL teams, being the Sabres, the Rangers, the Islanders, and the Devils. So between those markets, that's probably at least, I would say, 15% of the NHL's, broadcast revenue. So the owner made this statement without talking to the GM and president of the team about it. And it's been fucking crazy. Chris Drury is in charge. He's their acting GM right now. But if it would have ended with if the Tom Wilson incident, it was fucking stupid. It wasn't a play that anyone should be making. But at the same time, if that was all that happened, and then he would have been suspended the next day, it wouldn't have been so strange. For me, it really got strange when this fucking statement came out. But either way, it's been a crazy 2 fucking days. The Caps and the Rangers are playing right now and had 6 fights in the first period?
6 fights in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And now the Mongoloid just got kicked out, or, well, at least a 10-minute, because I just saw him go off the ice.
Yeah, Chara. Yeah, he just got kicked off. Yeah, it's a strange situation, the whole thing. Wilson definitely should have been suspended. I don't know how that... I feel like George Parros is over there with the fucking wheel of suspension, and he's like, all right, so has a name of everybody in the league, and he's like, all right, let me see, Wilson, all right, stick him on the board and let's spin it, and let's see what he gets for a suspension. Oh, a fine? Oh, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. And it's like, and then you see today, Ghost Bear gets a 2-game suspension for cross-checking a guy. It was after the play. It was a really dumb play on Ghost as well, but I've seen people give that for fines earlier in the season, so it's crazy. Wilson is a dumbass. He shouldn't have done that. That was the wrong thing to do. If it was 2 other people who wasn't Wilson or Panarin, I don't think it would have been a big of a deal. It probably would have been like, whatever, it doesn't really matter as much. I can't imagine if Hagelin did that to someone, what the response would have been, but very dumb by Wilson. Like Zach said, though, it gets very strange when you see this statement by the Rangers and then find out that their owner is firing people because they didn't back his statement. And it's just a weird thing. The Rangers, I mean, the past few years, they've been doing pretty good. They've been building a team. And I feel like by them firing their, it's not like they fired their coach or anything, but firing their GM and president, that's some big steps for trying to sign people next year and trying to keep the game going. And I don't know how many people they have who need contracts or anything, but it's going to change things up. I don't know how in tune Drury is with the team. I don't know what he was before this, if he was like president of hockey operations or whatever the hell he was. I have no idea, but it could really change some things up just because of this whole Tom Wilson incident. And I guess, you know what? I guess what's Tom Wilson is here for is to fuck shit up. And like I said, what he did was terrible. He shouldn't have done that. Caps won 6-3 and he got an empty net goal at the end. So, I mean, if this was the 90s, Tom Wilson did his job straight up, but it's not. And you know what? The league wants to get that.
It doesn't matter the year of when this happened.
Yeah, it does. Because Scott Stevens would have been suspended a billion times.
Who?
Scott Stevens. He would have been kicked out of the league after the first hit on Lindros.
Body slam people and go and hit them with that. What Wilson did was ridiculous. I don't think the only time you could argue is maybe in the 40s and stuff when people were out there two-handing people in the throat doing Chris Simons and stuff. But I mean, no. And I don't think it matters who it was. You guys would try to play the martyr card with Wilson. It could have been Hagelin. What he did was fucking terrible for the sport. And I mean, it didn't matter who it was. It didn't matter who it happened to. Anyone pulled some shit like that. Bertuzzi wasn't a very dirty player when he went and pulled his shit.
All right.
If Sidney Crosby tackled someone to the ice,
did.
them in the head.
We did.
Yeah. So is that just as bad for the sport?
Yeah, absolutely. Crosby should have been suspended as well for what he did against Philly.
Crosby's head over that as well.
Crosby should have been suspended for what he did to the player in Philly. I don't remember who it was at this point.
Konechny? Was it Konechny?
Konechny, it was Konechny. So another star of the league. I mean, obviously not as big. I mean, he's a star of the market. But, I mean, yeah. No, it doesn't matter if it's a star or not. You go and do something like that to Sprong, to someone who doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, again, the Bertuzzi incident, Bertuzzi wasn't a repeat offender and all that shit when he went and did that stuff. The guy he did it to wasn't someone who was a superstar or anything. And then he gets fucking police charges against him. There's nothing against this situation. Tom Wilson's been a goon. He always will be a goon. He's, a piece of shit.
There you go.
And I don't care who it was though. It doesn't matter to me that it was Wilson or nothing else. And the way that it was mishandled in this situation, I still keep waiting. I think the Rangers are going to go after Backy or after Oshie here to try to make things right. And this is what happens when you don't have someone in charge who goes and says, hey, what you did was wrong. You're gone for however long you're going to be gone. I mean, and now the NHL will self-police it. And these refs have been doing not a great job with the game, but I also am kind of surprised that the Rangers really haven't been doing what I thought they would be doing at this point. I mean, someone needs, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. The NHL is kind of falling apart. It's reminiscent for Harry, who watches football, with Goodell and his random ass suspensions. And
fuck that.
It's just, there's no rhyme or reason why that was a $5,000 suspension and what Ghost Spear did was 2 games. I mean, there's no consistency. There hasn't been consistency all year. There's no explanation. At least when we had what's his face?
Mr. Shanahan.
Yeah,
the Shanahan videos. Shanahan tapes.
Video and explained what was going on. There's been nothing from NHL on that point of view either. If you can go and back up why you gave him a $5,000 fine versus not suspending him or anything like that, then so be it. At least you have some leg to stand on. But to just arbitrarily be like, that's $5,000. This is nothing. This is something that's less is a suspension. It's ridiculous. I mean, I feel like Parros just bet on the Caps at the beginning of this year. It was like, we're not losing this goon. He's too important to the team for whatever reason.
You did bring up a good point about the repeat offender stuff. I mean, there has been a couple of times where his repeat offending, quote unquote, was not really that bad, but people like the front office or like Parros or whoever it was gave him suspensions for shit that should have been suspension. You know what I mean? There was that
before Parros.
Huh?
He's been suspended once since Parros has been in, and he didn't want to suspend that came from above to get him suspended.
The 20 game stuff, right? When
he tripped? He got suspended once this year, right? 7 games.
Yes, that's correct.
You're talking
and
about,
that was the one that Parros didn't want to suspend him for.
In general. I'm just talking about in general. Everybody wants to talk about his past history. There has been a couple stuff that he has been suspended for that was very, I would say, are you doing it because his name is Tom Wilson? I'm not taking anything off the table of what happened yesterday. Obviously, what he did was not, I don't condone it at all. But you also got to look at the league office and also this player safety and says, okay, because everybody was in a whirlwind yesterday. Everyone, not just Ranger fans, everyone. I said at the beginning of the podcast, the most people I saw were Penguins fans. I'm like, all right, clearly everybody has a problem with Tom Wilson. Clearly, everyone that isn't a Cavs fan has a problem with Tom Wilson, which I understand. The dude rubs people the wrong way because he is the goon, like you said, Jeff. So this is now on the league office and player safety. It's okay, if he's really that bad, kick him out and do it. But nobody's done it. Nobody ever does it. Everybody wants to say that. Everybody's like, oh, he should be kicked out. He should be kicked out. Well, it's on the front. It was on the league office to kick him out. It's on the player safety to kick him out. Nobody's going to kick him out. Everybody just needs to the reason why I'm ranting is not because of you, Jeff. It's because of all the people who said that, and I'm just like, at the end of the day, you know what's going to happen. This is all going to go by the wayside. Nobody's going to give a fuck
People are gonna give a fuck, dude. People
not in the
people
playoffs.
already hate Wilson. This is gonna now reflect on the organization that there's gonna be a lot more people who hate the Caps. Like
A lot of people
this
can
guy.
hate the Caps. I mean, what people hate the Caps already for a multitude of reasons. It's
Well,
Wilson
I mean,
might be the biggest
there's
factor.
fandom.
Yeah, people hate the Caps because of Ovi doing Ovi things, or when Kuzi did his little pigeon thing when he scored against the Penguins, or any of that stuff. Like everybody hates a certain team for a certain reason, and yes, Wilson gives us a little bit more hatred because he is that goon. But like, come on, man! Like at the same time, like I'm sick of people trying to be like, oh, kick him out of the league, kick him out of the league. Like we all know that's not gonna happen. I
It could
understand.
happen.
Like,
We've seen it in the past. Bertuzzi
but
was
is
kicked
he?
out of the
But
league.
is
There's been
he? But
people who've
is
been
he?
kicked out of the league. You
But
can get
is
rid of
he?
people, and you can't
But
go and say that it's completely on. Yes, the Department of Safety needed to do something about this, but Wilson did it regardless of it. There was no.
no,
He
I'm
didn't know
not
he
taking
was
it
going
away
to get
from
fined or
Wilson.
suspended before this. Wilson did it at that
I was
time.
all
No,
for. I was all for being like, oh, Wilson is an asshole for doing this. Yes, 100%. But people kept egging it on. People kept saying stuff about it, and I'm just like, all right, I understand it is bad. Like, but like saying all these different things, like that's when I had a breaking point where I was just like, dude, then let the league office take care of it. Like, are you in the league office? Clearly, you're not. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you and me had a civil conversation about it, Jeff. But like, some people just didn't want to hear it. I'm just like, what do you want me to say here? I told you he did a stupid thing. Like, that's it. Like, we should crucify this guy at the stake. Like,
yes,
go for it.
I'd be so happy for that. I mean, I'm cheering for him to come off in a stretcher. And at this point, I wouldn't mind seeing any other Caps player hurt. And that's the way that a lot of people are going to look at this at this point. Anything that happens dirty to them, it's retribution for what happened. The league said it's fine to do this, to take out stars, to take out players and stuff. Go at it now. You want to go and employ someone who's going to actively do that, who's going to be headhunting for people, and that's his only job. Like when there were enforcers back in the day, when you had your Knuckles and you had like someone on the team who fought, they fought. There was a code of conduct. Wilson doesn't give a shit about that, and that's why I don't think he would fit in any other time period. Yeah, sure, he would have played. He wouldn't be suspended for things, but he would have gotten his ass handed to him because other teams have people who go and stand up and do something about it. The Rangers are a young team that doesn't have any big guys who are going to fight, really. I mean, and they still try to fight this game. Like, they gave it their all, but they're not that type of team. They don't have anyone on the team who can fight. But, I mean,
at that point, then, if a team doesn't have somebody who can not stand up to him, but someone that, isn't in the same genre, I guess if you want to say, of hockey player, then that's when the league needs to step up. When they don't do these, like, I hated the Shanahan tapes. They were stupid. Coming in there with that dumb voice, and he's like, on Tuesday, during the Arizona Coyotes and Vancouver Canucks game, you're like, oh my God. But at least it held the league accountable, and it made the league have a history of making decisions for a reason, and the player always needs to be held accountable first on the ice, no matter what, no matter who it is, from Crosby to Wilson, from McDavid to McKinnon throwing his helmet. Like the player needs to be held accountable first off. But if the player cannot be hold themselves accountable on the ice, so the league needs to step in and enforce the rules. And if the league has a history of why they enforce these rules, not just a tweet saying that this person has been suspended for this reason, and maybe some press release or something like that on the back end, or you hear what either player says about what they heard about the hearing. So you're getting it not from the league, you're getting secondhand from the player. You don't have that enforcing, you don't have the accountability from the league as well. They need to do a better job. And I don't know why Parros is in charge. I mean, like I said, give me the Shanahan tapes back any day. They were terrible, but they made sure you knew what the league was thinking. And I think it was a little more fair. I mean, it had more rhyme and reason to it. Right now, like I said, it's the wheel of suspension. Just hope for no whammy.
Yeah, and I mean, people got upset in the past when there were those tapes and stuff, but like you said, they had that to go back on. Here's why I did this.
They made sense.
Right.
Shanahan would say his dumb shit for 3 minutes or whatever it is, and you'd be like, this guy's an idiot. But if you go back and watch them, it made sense.
Just going over to them firing their people, did they say it was performance based?
They said all they have said is it had nothing to do with them distancing themselves from the statement. They haven't given a reason.
Okay, because I mean, it clearly had to do with them releasing that statement, because this team has been in a rebuild for the last couple of years, and with them getting Lafreniere and everything, they're clearly pushing to be. No one thought that they were going to make the playoffs this year. They're a team that's in the future could be a good team, and yeah, it definitely seems like it's totally that's the reason. Because at this point in the season, where they're already eliminated from the playoffs, like.
But it was the if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but it seemed like it was the owner who released the statement, not the president or GM.
It was the owner. I mean, whatever the owner's office is, I don't remember. He has some LLC he runs everything out of. But it was the owner who released the statement. It wasn't as I said, the GM and the president of hockey. Neither one of them knew the statement was coming when it came out.
I mean, if I was a Ranger, I'd be happy to hear that from the top, that they've got your back. So
yeah, firing the two people running your rebuild when you're having a good rebuild in the middle of it is pretty fucking short-sighted, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's definitely short-sighted. But I mean, to know that the organization's not going to just lay down, they're going to say something. I mean, whatever comes of it, who the hell knows? Probably nothing. I mean, but we'll see. Yeah. The only other team to ever speak out about fine or suspension was Arizona. I don't know how many years ago now, and the league handed them $100,000 fine. So we'll see what the league fines the Rangers. I'm sure it'll be more than $5,000 for saying bad things about the NHL.
Bettman, make the check out straight to Bettman.
He'll get on his little box so he seems almost the height of a person, and Jesus Christ, Bettman.
Everyone will boo.
Do you think
I kind of figured this was the longest topic
with a soapbox for him to stand on?
He's a bitch. I hope he gets fucking fucking car.
Do you think he has like an intern whose main responsibility is to walk around behind him, give him a box to stand on, and be really short so he looks tall by comparison?
Oh yes. Yeah, he has to stay like at a distance so when pitchers are shot, he looks taller than his intern.
Crouch down. He calls him the keeper of the box.
He has the platform raised for him. He's got like the focus button where he can just raise up to be the same height as people.
Just that's all you hear when you're next to him.
He gives a middle finger when he goes up and down.
Dead air.
I knew that shit was gonna happen because that was gonna be the longest topic.
Why does your mic not work when other people are talking, Zach? Like everyone else, I feel like I can hear if they chime in, but yours just like I can't hear anything when you talk.
Wait, before you say anything, we'll talk about this on the Patreon behind the scenes making the pod. So make sure you sign up for Patreon. That's a $5 level, and you'll get the behind-the-scenes talk about why Zach's microphone doesn't work when everyone else talks, but everyone else's microphone does work when talking. Come back for that hot action on the Patreon. Patreon.com/5holers. Either spell it out or don't spell it out. Just, I don't know, just Google it, probably better.
Or go to dicktower.com.
One of my favorite things was, what was I watching? TED. And they were talking about how they watched the Cheers videos. He's like, yeah, they got the behind the scenes where they just talk shit on each other. And it's like Ted Danson talking about Woody Harrelson. He's like, Woody Harrelson, smallest dick you'll ever see. And it's like, oh, man. But damn. All right. What? There was more topics, but, I mean, it's already been an hour. I mean, we really hit home with the fucking beginning stuff with 30 minutes.
What other news do we have here? We'll get past that because everyone said a whole bunch of on that.
And the other news, we did it before.
Yeah, AHL's not having playoffs. Next, let's go.
Wait, so am I supposed to give more news or not? I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah. Anymore. Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, what do we got?
We already did enough on the Caps tonight. I'll save this other one for next week.
Wait, is Sprong out?
I don't know. I have no clue what's going on with our lineup right now. I know Wilson is out with an upper body injury now. So But so
No stretcher. Sorry, Jeff. No
He doesn't
stretcher.
want to fight, pussy. The date rapist is gone from the game.
all right, you know
Ooh,
what?
no, Patrick Kane's still playing.
Oh no, he's the Uber fighter. I was
No, I
talking
think
about Wilson. Especially that picture of him looks like a full-on date rapist.
Oh, good lord. All right, so to lighten the mood a little bit, the Seattle Kraken now have vanity license plates in Washington State.
It's too bad it's not Virginia or Washington, D.C. Get one for the 5 Holers car.
Wait, we have a car? Or is it just Chanuti's car?
Yeah, it's
I
just
don't have a
Chanuti's car.
Okay.
The fuck?
That works.
And they unofficially have their first player with Milan Lucic.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Lucic moved his no movement clause so the Flames can send him over.
Interesting. Are the Flames going to get anything in return? That's the real question.
No, and I mean, I guess in theory, the Kraken doesn't have to pick him, but that's who they're angling to get taken from the team, and they can use their because if you have a no movement clause, you waste one of your coverings on that person, so they don't have to now.
Interesting. That's good.
So now they can cover Margiapan or whatever, however you say his name.
Yeah, they can cover other people now instead of having to cover Lucic. And if he goes, I'm sure they're like, well, whatever. I mean, he hasn't been there that long, has he?
In Calgary?
4 or 5 years.
I don't know how long he's been there now. Yeah. He'll dye his hair whatever the color of the team is.
That blue or that like weird green or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll
catch
see
him at the Crack House.
I guess we'll be seeing all that pretty soon. They said the season might start in October next season. So
and they're trying to do an all-star game along with the Olympics too. So it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out.
Who the hell's going to play in the all-star game if the Olympics are...
It's not going to be at the same time. They're trying to do both. So there'll be 2 breaks.
This is going to be stupid, isn't it?
Yep. Well, we've talked about how great the heads of the NHL are, and it's just another fuck up on their part.
All right, last piece of news, and we'll do this real quick. So the AHL has officially canceled their playoffs. Jeff, tell us a little bit more about this.
I mean, I was wondering how they were going to do it anyway, because they let teams decide if they wanted to come back or not. So the divisions are all out of whack, with some teams having 3 teams or 4 teams in division, and then like the Canadian division has all 8 teams, and yeah, it's been interesting. But yeah, I don't know what this means for the end of the year. Like, what happens if it just that's that, or if they're I guess, and I don't know how they'll do the draft then. I guess based off of their standings. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
the only thing I know is Cole Perfetti has been tearing it up in Manitoba, and the Jets are smart about not wasting a year of his eligibility on his contract by bringing him up in this wasted year for the Jets. Excited to see him in the future, and I'm sure them drafting him made Laine a lot more expendable. And it'll be interesting to see where Laine ends up, because he seems to keep getting scratched there in Columbus, along with Domi. So Columbus fans got to be loving those moves.
I think they'll hold on to Laine for one more season after Tortorella leaves and see what happens.
Hey, they could cut him, and then he could end up not Laine, Torts, and then he could coach the Kraken, and everything will work out perfectly.
I could see that happening, actually.
Torts for Kraken coach, 2021.
Go ahead and start that hashtag. Yeah, Torts for Kraken coach, 2021.
Torts.
Let's get that going.
Torts.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
all right. I heard we have a game tonight, though.
Oh, and real quick, Sweden just got the shit stomped out of them by Canada in the World Juniors. Connor Bedard went off. Dude, that's the real next sweepstakes for the draft. He'll be eligible in 2023. And they'll play the winner of Finland versus, I don't know who Finland's playing. But that'll probably happen after this is over. So, yeah.
So be on the lookout. That's Jeff's future pick.
He's consensus number
first
one
pick of the year
for that one. So that's the year to tank. Finish in the bottom 3, because you can't get the first pick if you're outside the bottom 3.
Can I help you?
Get that pick. Get that pick.
I mean, the last player that they let play in juniors that was 15 was Connor McDavid. So good choose to follow in, and he had 5 points in the semifinals against the Czech. He had 2 snipes in this game. So, and we have a dog.
We have a dog on the podcast.
Frankie.
Right. Over to you, Red Falcons game corner.
Red Falcons game corner.
Thank you, Mike and Frankie. I appreciate that. I wouldn't say we have a game today, but we do have a little fun topic I want to cover. As we all have said earlier, we're all pissed off with the league, and we're mainly upset with the inconsistency with the NHL Department of Player Safety. So I thought it'd be fun if we all went around and said who we would like to replace George Parros, but not only just a retired player, someone who's been in the NHL, but also a current player, and maybe also a wild card, either a historical figure, an imaginary character, just someone we thought that'd be sort of fun, someone that we think would be interesting to see. So we're going to go ahead and do that. There's no points awarded. If you guys want to vote on who has the best answer, we can do that, but I don't really care. I just think it'd be fun to hear what you guys think. So yeah, if you guys want to start, we'll start with the one that's going to be the probably one that makes the most sense. We'll do with retired players or people we really think should take over moving forward. So Zach, who you got? Who do you think who should really moving forward take over?
All right, I have 2 candidates. The first is Dale Hunter, because Dale Hunter is intimately familiar with illegal things in the NHL. That's point 1. Point 2, he could beat up George Parros. So I think in order to get the job, they need to have a nationally televised fight where Dale Hunter is fighting George Parros. That's my first pick. My second pick, Scott Stevens by a country mile. What happens if there's a hit that's questionable? They put Scott Stevens alone in a room with the video. They make him watch it. And this is going to be for the length of the season, Scott Stevens is just going to live in this little theater room and have, a bucket to shit in and, a bedroll. But either way, no contact with the outside world. He's just going to be stuck in this room watching questionable hits over and over. They show him the hit. They say, hey, Scott, is that something you would have done when you were playing? And if he says yes, then they suspend based on that. If he said, no, I don't think I would have done that, then either they have to kick the player out of the league because it was so egregious, or they don't suspend because Scott Stevens thought it was too clean.
That's pretty good picks. I totally imagine Scott Stevens sitting in a basement theater, probably like a bunker of some sort, like Charlie, after he drank all the beer and ate all the pizza, just super wasted, out of his mind, slurring, and probably asking people if he's peeing at the same time. And yes, he will be peeing. Jeff, who do you got for?
I also picture him in that room, like in The Aviator, when he's got all those bottles of piss.
Yeah, but
and it's a film room, so it works perfectly for that aspect of it. You could be watching the shit while he's pissing and shitting. I kind of went a different way with this one, and went off the Lady Bing, the most awarded member of it. And I see this is where I didn't know if who's still alive. He's technically still playing. Would be the Magic Man, Pavel Datsyuk. He's playing in the cage, so I don't know if it counts. If he's retired from the NHL and probably won't come back.
I think
You think what?
I think he counts as a retired NHL player.
Okay. Yeah, I would. Yeah. Because he could stop playing in the KHL instantly and come do this. So yeah.
Right. I think he's just doing it for the love of hockey and not for the money at this point. So I mean,
definitely.
If you love hockey that much that you're an old man, like almost Yager age, still playing hockey for fun. And he's been around the league long enough to know, the old stuff. The other person I would put in there was the biggest runner-up in the history of it. Nominated 6 times, 1-0, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, Adam Oates. Did not know that fact about Oatesy. But, another one who came from the time where there was still hitting and enforcers in the league. And, I mean, he played around some great players. I think he'd have, and try to appeal to your guys' Caps fandom.
I'm actually going to jump in, Jeff, because I had Datsyuk on my list as well. I thought he'd be a great person to do it. He knows the game. He doesn't only know the NHL, but he knows just the game in general. from being in the KHL, being over here, he'd be a great person to step in and sort of get things under control. He's well respected in the league. I mean, no one's gonna be fucking with him. It's not like Parros where everyone thinks he's just like a joke right now. So I think that'd be great. I also had a newer guy, had St. Louis, little Marty St. Louis, another guy who's well respected throughout the league. He was a smaller guy. I'm sure he took a bunch of shit in his early career, but I can't think of a time ever that he did something that was, wrong or unsportsmanlike. He was always usually, well above the belt. So I think he'd be a good person to throw in there as well. Go a little, and to tell him to bring his little yellow stick as well. Bring that along too, because that was fun.
Was that a Z bubble?
Yeah, I think it was maybe a Z bubble grip. Maybe that's what it was.
It was a Louisville TPS, the grip one.
The TP grip. So I had the wooden shaft, fake wooden shaft TPS.
Yeah.
That was the shit.
Tricor.
Oh yeah, the Tricor. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Mike and Frankie, who do you guys got over there?
We got two people. I mean, one is the best nickname of all time to give somebody who led the league in penalty minutes, probably for the longest time ever, Dave the Tiger Williams. I mean, come on. If you're going to let some guy fucking run the league, do you want a fucking fine or suspension from Tiger Williams?
El
No.
Tigre.
It's like El Tigre. I mean, you don't want to be in a fucking brothel and all of a sudden you see Tiger Woods. You know what's about to go down. Same thing would happen with Tiger Williams. Tiger Williams hands you that fine or that suspension, you're fucked. You're done. It's over. That, and then my second would be a funny, like this guy would probably make a joke out of it and probably make videos about it. Paul Bissonnette, just because he's a content guy and he only had a cup of coffee in the NHL and he never really did much, but he's like known prominently around the league. He does the Arizona Coyote stuff. He would make it funny. Like he would make shit funny. Like he would make like press conferences and be like, "This guy is a jackass pigeon that's suspended for 5 games," and the only thing the dude did was like slash, and then he would let Tom Wilson walk free, and it'd be funny.
That would be good for expanding the reach of the league too, because I feel like people like him outside of your average NHL fans.
Idea man over here.
This is why you are a marketer. You're on top. You're on the pulse. You know what's going on with the kids, the youths, the youngins. So there's some good choices. I like the
best nicknames.
I like the Tiger Williams callback too because we had him in a game previously. So that was good. I like that callback there, Mike.
Was he one of the cards you had?
No, he wasn't on the card, but he was one of the. We did like facts or something like that. And I talked about how he had the most penalty minutes, and he barely played at all too. It was like very few seasons, and he racked up so many PIMs. So.
It was like 39. It was like what I read. It was almost like 4,000 penalty minutes.
Yeah, he's held on to it forever too. It's been crazy. He's well known for just that. What do you guys think about current players? We'll go jump in that one, and we'll save the fun one, the imaginary wild card. We'll save that one for last. Jeff, who do you have for current player?
All right, so I've got my two would be Bergeron. As much as I hate Boston, it's one of the few players I think that is well respected throughout the league. And I mean, he doesn't really fit the mold of a Boston player just the way when you think of like a Marchand type of guy out there. And then the other one, I don't know if he's, again, it's the bubble person is Taze, because I don't know if he's retiring after all this stuff. I think, Captain Sirius would fit that role, and for the videos, it would be right back to fucking the Shanahan videos with his monotone voice and, with that Captain Sirius smile he had there. So
it'd be like having
low penalty guys, I guess. I was sticking with that as well.
I like the Taze or Towels because it's just like Captain America basically doing it. Like, you're just like this fucking guy. Yeah, it would be very monotone too. He'd have his own tape series coming out.
Yeah, and you'd feel kind of like you did something wrong. More like that disappointed parent type of thing with him, I feel like. Especially younger guys in the league now.
He's not yelling at you, but he's talking to you, and you're like, shit.
He's not going to get animated at all, because I don't think he ever did, even when they won the Cups. So
No. Shooty, what do you got for current players?
So current players, I was thinking Jumbo Joe. I think Jumbo Joe would be funny as well. Just him being literally one of the biggest men in the NHL, and him always pissed off. I feel like he's always pissed off at something. Might as well him or Chara. So put both of them in there just as the two biggest dudes. just to go around handing people fines and fucking suspension. Like literally the Bash Brothers of suspensions, where like the guy's like, I'm not paying this fine. They hear it from the grapevine. They come to the locker room. They're like, I heard you're not paying that fine. Beat the shit out of whoever said that. Beat the shit out of their family, and they say, "What's up?"
And Jumbo's got to keep the beard, right?
Oh yeah.
He cannot do the job without the beard. Chara fucked it up with his fucking babyface shit, but hey, he's still big.
He's got the eyes.
You got Hugh Honey, you got Vic Vinegar right there, basically.
Basically, that's how we're gonna sell real estate, baby.
And I like how you said you're gonna have two people, two heads of, because then they can keep each other in check, and that's what we need.
And Jumbo can explain if you don't understand.
Exactly. Chara, he'd be like, "That's my man, Chara. He doesn't speak much. He only speaks when he needs to."
He'll just stare you down like Vic Vinegar.
Exactly. He's like, "Your wife needs a real man. Is this too big for your wife?"
It's a weird Penn and Teller situation going on there. They're both Penn though. What do you got, Zach?
All right, I got one player for this, current player, and I dare one of you to tell me a reason it shouldn't be him. Jay Beagle.
Jay Beagle. You son of a bitch, you did it. You son of a bitch.
The only reason I feel like he shouldn't do it because he wouldn't want to do it. I feel like that's too much pressure. He's like, I want to be off the map.
He will never
Don't. Yeah, but he's. I feel like he's another well-respected guy throughout the league. No one has really had a problem with him. I agree, that's a good one. I had two people on my list. My first person, just because I want him to play hockey and be the head of Department Player Safety, so he can double dip, get that dual money, is our boy out there, Phil Kessel. Get him to be the face of any hockey operations. Anything in the league office. Let's get that man as many checks come into his account as he can get. Get that money, Phil.
I doubt there's an actual position called head of concessions, but I feel like he'd be the best one for that.
Well, that's you can have a hot dog while you're talking to him.
Exactly.
You walk into his office, they got coffee or drinks or something. It's just a full hot dog guy from New York just in his office. Yeah, it'd be perfect.
He'd have every video, guy, right? Not the rolly thing you see at the gas station.
Oh no, he'd have the guy where he pulls down a mystery bucket. No one knows what's cooking those hot dogs down there. Yeah, definitely. And when you get suspended, you get the video. He's noshing on a dog the whole time. He's like, so this week, this is good. I got mustard on this one, guys. See a little relish too? Relish? Yeah, okay. Just the whole time. But I mean, makes it fun. Makes it fun. The other one on
the game that you suspend someone.
Yeah. So it's a challenge for him, but a challenge for the player as well. And everyone is held accountable for their hot dog consumption. The other player I'm with out there just to piss Jeff off is Tom Wilson.
I was waiting for something.
I knew it.
I know. I thought you guys were gonna do it as well, but I was very surprised there.
I was too invested with the two biggest guys just fucking running around killing everybody in sight. I was so invested
love it.
in that.
It's like having two dudes who are huge named Tiny. They're the same thing. Look at these guys.
And it's Chara and fucking Jumbo Joe, probably the two guys. If you rile them up.
Yeah, I'm frozen.
It's just
yeah, it's just Shanudi. Yeah, no, we all just paused because I think we were waiting for him to continue. All right, well, you froze there, but it's okay. Shanudi, you back here?
Was that frost? Was it? Did I freeze? I thought you guys were just
like frost.
He froze.
No, you froze, bro.
You guys frosted over it. God.
Anyways, Shanudi, we'll come back to you with this one. Who's your imaginary, your wild card? Who you got?
Hot damn. Is there anybody who would be best for league safety than the Warthog himself, Frank the fucking Warthog Reynolds? Now, why did I pick him? First of all, he knows how to run a business. Number one. Number two, he can help something go from ruin to success just like that. And he always comes with a plan. He always comes in with the money. He knows what to do. He knows what puts asses in seats. He is Frank the Warthog Reynolds. Don't worry about him selling the NHL in its entirety to probably the Japanese later on in life. Don't worry about that right now.
North Korea.
North Korea. He would have to make sure Wolf Cola is, first of all, sold in every concession, a.k.a. Phil Kessel, as his head of concessions with a hot dog. cocaine at every fucking game. You name it. This guy. Now we're talking about player safety. I think he wouldn't give a fuck, and I think that'd be the funniest thing. He'd just be like, "You got a lot of anger in you, kid," and then he just let everybody fight each other for like 60 seconds, and then whoever loses gets the fucking fine. So there you go.
It's amazing. That's a perfect one. I like his response of, "You got a little anger in your kid," and that's just it. I mean, it's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's how it's gonna be. Jeff, what do you got? What do you got for your guy? I know you got a few there.
So I'm going with Mark Forward. You probably more known as the coach from Letterkenny, and then he was also I forgot what the librarian's name was in Mr. D at the beginning there, Mr. Young or whatever. So he had some
Mr. Young,
yeah. But as the coach, basically, well, first of all, the guy himself, if you've ever seen his stand-up, it is
fucking
uncomfortably creepy. Which I just feel like is a good way to like intimidate the people who are there, because he's just gonna, you don't want to deal with this guy. You don't want to be alone in a room with him. And then his character from Letterkenny, I mean, as that fucking coach, man, he's fucking just gonna
embarrassing.
Yeah, fucking embarrassment, boys. Just gonna go off on them. Unless he gets caught off on a tangent about Barb where she's giving him a handy somewhere. And again, no one wants to be stuck in a room hearing that story from him either. So I think people are going to just try to avoid having to be in one-on-one situations with this guy. And there's always going to be a trash can right there for him to kick and throw when you get into his office at you.
It makes me want to watch Letterkenny. I haven't seen that shit. I've seen a few episodes, but I haven't gotten into it. I watched all of Mr. D because that shit was amazing. So I'll have to definitely give that a try.
And his daughters, once I found that out, they were the fucking best part later on.
So funny. The one daughter, and that was so funny. She just always just screwed Mr. D over, always extorting him for money, whatever it was. So funny. Jeff, you got any other people?
Fire.
Yeah. She becomes the principal of the school and she fires him. He thinks it's real. Oh man, what else? You got anyone else, Jeff?
No, that's
that's it. Well, I know Zach said he has a surprise, so I'm gonna save him for last. I had a few people actually. I'm gonna do Dr. Dealgood from Mad Max Thunderdome. He's the one who sets up all the fights in the Thunderdome. I think that'd be a pretty good guy. Just a weird guy who likes to pin people against each other. Panzeram, Carl Panzeram, for those who don't know him. No one would say no to him. There would be no appeals. There would be nothing. You take your fucking punishment and you go sit in the corner.
Your punishment may not let you sit, though.
Yeah.
It might turn you into one of his boys.
Yeah. Well, hey, you won't be getting suspended again after that, that's for sure. You'd be watching yourself after that. And then, you know what, if
he is, you may be suspended during, actually.
Very true. Hey, but it would send a message around the league, that's for sure. People would know not to be doing dumb shit. And then the other person I have, if the league wants to stick with their current way of doing things and the wheel of suspension, Drew Carey, throw him in there. Let's get some laughs. Let's get a good video out of it. Let's get him spinning the wheel. Let's throw Steve Harvey in there if we're gonna do a guessing game instead. I mean, if it's going to be so inconsistent, let's at least make it a show. Let's make this circus a show, you know?
Would you put Bob Barker in there too, then, possibly?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's getting up there in age, so I don't know if he's as quick with it. You know, that wheel,
the way he is.
If he's pulling that wheel, I don't know, his arm could fly right off.
He could fly around with the wheel.
No, that's a show. Watch
that.
I would watch that. Zach, what do you got for the final coming up here?
All right, so I did some thinking on this while I was working today, and the way I see it, there's two different types of people you want to have this job. The first person is someone who is nice and understanding and really friendly, but he's real with you, and he's going to tell you the truth, and he's going to lay out some honest wisdom, and then he's going to give you a fair punishment for whatever you did. So because of that reason, I'm going to say Country Mac.
Yeah.
Oh, Country Mac. Very good.
Very good.
And ironically, also Doug Glatt and other media productions. All right. So that's the first type of guy you want to have this job. The second type of guy you want to have this job is someone who's big and intimidating and scary, that will make sure that people don't want to fuck up once, like Panzeram, essentially, where it's, you fuck up, he gets mad at you, you don't want to do it again. So I'm going with Dolph Lundgren.
Top
Oh.
Loverin. Wait.
Very
Full
nice.
penetration the entire time or no penetration?
Depends on how many.
Episode.
Depends on the suspension. Yeah.
And you just may not see the penetration.
It's there. Don't worry.
Ooh.
Right.
Wait, so it's like a what's it called? A Lorno?
Eileen Warnios?
That's who I thought of this when you said that.
Well, damn. Shit. Is that That's the best way to end the show right there. Wait, Eric, did you give us yours?
Yeah, I gave mine. Yeah. We're good. I mean, there's no
fuck.
winner in this game. It's just I'm
No,
glad you
winner
guys all had
was
some
the
good answers there.
winner was that. The ending right there. What just happened there was the best. Oh man. Well, thank you guys for rocking with us here at Five Holers. Please smooth out your balls with smoothoutballs.com. Jesus Christ.
Smoothmyballs.com.
Smoothyourballs.com.
Yes.
You can also find them at dicktowel.com.
Yeah.
Dicktowel.com. Please like and subscribe and follow us on all our streaming sites, such as Spotify, iTunes, everywhere, as well as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook for Five Holers, as well as Four Corner Studios, 4cr.studio to find all your podcasts, especially all the podcasts that are rocking under the umbrella, not only us, but the rest. I will not name them all because it's going to take too long because we got to go on the outros. So I am your host, the man of the hour, the man who will eat everything in sight. Don't matter what it is, I will eat it, but probably should not put that in there. Actually, you know what? If it clucks, if it's moose, if it oinks, I'll eat it. More than anything. There it is. I am Michael, the garbage disposal Shanuti, and behind me, protecting our backside, protecting our goal, he will make sure a puck will never go through because his flappers, his tusks will make sure that the puck gets flown out and hits somebody in the face. Not die, though. Just put on a stretcher. Zach, the Walrus Vincent, and the man wearing the A on his chest because he's going to hit on your mom, your sister, your grandma. It doesn't matter who it is. He is going to be in the woods later on this week for any reason. It's a hot white boy summer or whatever the fuck Chevy Chase Hanks talked about. Jeff, the Reverend Schneider.
Hey man, every day's a holiday.
And there it is. And it's not a plane anymore. I don't know what the fuck you are now. It's not blue. It's not green. But hell, you got a lot of anger in you, kid. Eric, the Red Falcon, Vincent.
What's up, guys? Thank you as always. Great episode. Jeff, does Jeff have the A because he's an adulterer? Is that what you're getting at? Was that a Scarlet Letter thing there? Or is that just a happy accident?
Yeah, that was actually A for Scarlet Letter. I'm glad you picked that up, actually.
I thought it was A for anal, but
hey, that's your favorite hole. It's tighter. Go ahead, Zach.
Why? You can hit the 5-hole. Aim low.
That was the best right there.
So are we actually sponsored by the Smooth Balls people?